There's an episode.
Don't worry.
That's coming. That's very. That's the basis of it.
There's going to be a lot of anti-Donald Trump sentiment in that.
Sorry, I just want to make sure it's still recording because I got worried for a second. It is. Sorry. Okay, back. Something I do want to touch on, specifically 80s Christmas movies, is Die Hard. It is famously kind of one way or the other. You know, people always, they don't know if it's a Christmas movie, but for me, I feel like it is, you know.
He's going all out to have Christmas with his family, so he has to like deal with everybody. He has to be a man and stand up, kill all the bad guys, so he can have Christmas with his family. You know.
So he is like the good.
He's not sitting back and getting the police involved and going, okay, we'll starve them out for a week. He deals with it there and then, like they're flies. Like he swats them, so he can get back to his family. You know, that's what I kind of feel that film is about, why blokes like it, you know.
Because you would imagine yourself as John McClane, kind of thing.
Going, okay.
Funny enough,
I'm not taking
my
this
favourite
shit.
show of all time, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's Jake, the main character in that, his favourite movie, and he's always like, I became a cop because of Die Hard.
Is that your favourite of all time, that?
It's like in top 3.
Because you like a lot of other, you know.
I've watched every episode of it. I really love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But I can't really think of any.
Yeah, but you like the Big Bang Theory and other things.
I prefer Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And Friends.
I do. I think they're in like top 5. I don't know. It's funny that he always mentions that. But yeah, I think it's a Christmas movie. Funny enough, the Al Cinema puts on, different times of the year, puts on like holiday specials. And last year, the movie we saw at Christmas Eve a year ago to the dot was Die Hard. And I love it so much.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, I've not seen it for a long time, but since it came out, but I enjoyed it again. Yeah, but I do feel that. I think it's a guy's film.
I think it's kind of random to talk about a Christmas sense, because they did make like 4 sequels. There's like 4 other movies, and but I don't think the other ones are set at Christmas.
Yeah, but they cling on to that.
3 and 4
success.
aren't set at Christmas. They're just set random. So it's like it doesn't have to be set at Christmas, kind of thing. You know?
Yeah, but I think it gives it an edge. That's why he gets stuck straight in.
Okay.
Instead of like, because you could almost go like, why does he kill everybody? You know, you go, because he has a reason. He wants to. Do you remember
that Rick and Morty episode we watched where they were doing that? When they were doing a Die Hard? I have to show it to you. You don't remember it? It's really funny.
I don't remember it, but I do like Rick and Morty.
It's like a heist thing, but they only ever keep saying, just do a Die Hard. Like, you know, instead of going like, just rob this, you know, do whatever. It's like, just do a Die Hard. And they're like, oh, okay, I get you. So, I don't know. Rick's like, just use the vents, like, walk on glass, like, just do a Die Hard, you know? And then she's like, I've never seen that. He's like, yeah, well, neither did the guy in Die Hard, and he still did it. So it's like a funny...
Just do what you need to do, sort of.
Anyway, but yeah, 90s, consumerism, less characters more who are shown as like wealthy, but like that's not their main thing, I think. You know, in Home Alone, the McAllisters, they have like a 7-bedroom house, but it's like, and they're going to Paris for Christmas, but it's like not, that's not pointed out.
But they leave the kid behind.
Because they have like all those kids. But that's not their main thing. Like they don't go like, wow, this house is huge. They're just robbing a house that happens to be like a wealthy, but because it wouldn't show family.
If you're going to rob somewhere,
you would rob her,
and you don't realise there's a kid left behind in it. So,
but like in Gremlins, it's like the whole thing is that, you know, they want this specific like.
But you shouldn't this is why in Gremlins, he sells him the gremlin, but he says, don't feed it after midnight, don't get it wet.
Yeah, the rules that he then...
And that's what happens, and he comes back and gets the gremlin, and he's really offended, like, you broke all the rules. You know, the Chinese guy, you broke all the rules with this gremlin, you know, and he's right. He doesn't, you know, you're not to be trusted with something like that, and he takes him back. Because obviously there's millions of gremlins come off him, like Stripe and all the rest come off him and start doing evil things.
So... if we want to move on a little bit, I would love to talk more about the genre fracture. So this happened afterwards, 90s and into the noughties. Christmas movies kind of went in more specific directions. So like you've got the family films, Elf, The Polar Express, but you've also, and this is really interesting, you've got a lot of rom-com Christmas. So the way before that, like It's a Wonderful Life, maybe, you know, these other movies, it's like, it wasn't the main thing about those movies. It's more about self-discovery, I would say, Christmas Carol and, you know. But I would say in the 2000s, it kind of comes into this like rom-com, like Love Actually, for example, you know, it's like these things where it's a love story but set around Christmas. It's like...
What about things like Bad Santa and what have you? Where do they fit in?
I mean, that would be more on just like a comedy general level. I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's At this time, I would say that Christmas movies started to do this thing where they don't have to be set around Christmas, you know, but they happen to be. Like, there's rom-com movies that are then, okay, we'll make a Christmas rom-com. You know what I mean? Like, movies before then, I feel like they had to be set around Christmas to work. But later on, I mean, Bad Santa, definitely.
Obviously, it has to fit.
That has to be set around. But I just mean, like. But
isn't that for people who are starting to get tired of Christmas? You know, the whole idea of like.
I mean, yeah, that definitely is a valid.
Because there is a genre of people like who are tired of Christmas. Yeah. You know.
Well,
like,
actually, funny enough, that is a point actually I forgot to make about the whole consumerism of the 1980s Christmas movies, where it's like it's only pandering to people who like Christmas, you know, and they want to get everything done. They're like, okay, we need to do, you know, the characters in those movies, they run around trying to find the specific things they need. And funny enough, I remember in 1989, the first ever Simpsons episode is set around Christmas, and there's a point in that where they're trying to run around finding the presents for...
You remember that? Because that was 15 years before you were born. So like,
I remember watching that episode. Yeah. Well, I remember watching that episode because actually they have like a whole Gremlins thing in it where it's like the specific toy is like, it feels like Gremlins. I'm almost like, is that Gremlins? Supposed to be like a makeshift thing?
I always wanted to raise you and your sister without Christmas. I always wanted to raise you to not believe in Christmas.
Okay.
And I was always... Well, when Fidel Castro took over Cuba, they didn't have Christmas for 40 years. They outlawed it. And I was like, really, like, that's what we should do. We should not have Christmas. And if we get rid of it, everyone will grow up and not believe in Christmas.
Interesting.
Well, it's just the way that it was just the consumerism that went with it that was forced down your throat.
Well, that's what I'm, you know, the 1980s consumerism, that's why I feel like something like Bad Santa that comes around later is for people who are like, kind of done with it, you know, they don't want to be super pandered in terms of have every movie. Because the thing is, at that time, you couldn't skip past ads. You know, you had to watch those ads on the TV. So I think that, you know, you're watching the ads about Christmas and everyone running around going for Christmas. You're then watching a movie like Home Alone or Gremlins where it's like people are running around trying to do things for Christmas. And it's like, I just don't want Christmas all shoved down my throat, you know? Yeah. So I think that something like Bad Santa is like, oh, another Christmas movie, and it's like, no, this is actually not.
But it's like if you fail to do certain things, then you've ruined Christmas. Yeah. But really, you should be throwing your arms around each other and saying, "I love you," you know.
Yeah. Funny enough, we're having this discussion right before we started filming because when I was growing up, I had one grandparent, no basically aunts or uncles, and I got like £20 in the card, and me and my sister both did. We loved that. My brother has 6 kids, and my mum, I was just wrapping presents with her for my nephews, and they only got like 4 or 5 presents each, and my mum's like, oh my god, it's not enough, they need more, and it's like, because he has 6 kids. I was like, when we were growing up, we have no basis. Me and my sister and I have no basis to go off, because when we were growing up, we got no presents. So it's like, how much from a grandparent, and you were saying when you were growing up, you got like 1 present from your grandparent. Yeah. So
but that's kind of the way it was back then. Yeah. You got less. You got what you got. But I would say that your nephews, Jake's kids, are lucky that they have 2 loving aunts who actually love them, who take them out and what have you, and go and see them, which you didn't get.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't have that spread of family.
Right. Like, I mean, I literally just brought that. I made them those little goodie bags on Halloween.
So if you'd have had aunties and uncles who'd sent you a really expensive gift but never came down, that's great. Yeah. You've got a gift from this mysterious. But if they came down every few months and you were like, auntie, you know, and they were like, oh, I've missed you and everything, you know, and you knew they were there, and they phoned up and spoke to you. And what have you,